Hello fellow YouTubers, this is DVD Collector 1986 here with another video. Um, I am going to do a quick video here showing you what movies I've watched so far this October. I've been doing kind of a video series with that. So go back and watch some of my previous videos. I've actually watched quite a bit of horror films so far this month, and this is the most recent batch that I've watched. Um, and I'm gonna obviously watch a few more today, but those movies that I'm gonna watch today that I haven't gotten to yet, you'll see in the next video. I usually do these every few days. So um, without further ado, let's jump into it. So first up, The Exorcism of Emily Rose. Um, Very interesting horror film. I enjoy it. I like supernatural horror. I love movies like The Exorcist and stuff. So this was right up my alley. But aside from being a really good supernatural horror film, it's also a good courtroom drama. So if you like movies that deal with courtrooms, court cases, and court proceedings, and is this person guilty or that person guilty or not? Um, it's an excellent horror film, but it's also a courtroom drama type movie. So, like I said, if you're into courtroom stuff, you might want to check this out. It's a nice blend of courtroom uh, stuff and also a horror film. So good stuff. Um, Next, I know I've already watched Halloween 6, but I'm holding this up because this is from the box set. And actually, what I watched was all the little documentaries that are included as special features. This movie gets a lot of hate. I'm not going to sit here all day talking about it because I really could. It's one of my favorite sequels. But I'll say this, it's one of the most misunderstood sequels in the franchise, and it truly was meant to be the last Halloween movie. Um, I wish they had just stopped with part six because Donald Pleasance died uh, before they finished filming it, so you know they couldn't have had him in any more movies anyway. And I don't like any of the movies after part six. I just don't care for them. But it's a misunderstood film. And if you watch all those special feature documentaries that are included with Halloween 6, and if you also listen to the feature length commentary on Halloween 6, the producer's cut, which is a commentary with um, Daniel Farrens, the screenwriter, and the music composer, Alan Howarth. If you listen to their commentary and you watch those documentaries, it will give you a better understanding of that film and what they were trying to do with it. Um, so, anyway, that's all I'm going to say about Halloween 6. But I watched all those documentaries. So, next up is a horror film I don't hear a lot of people talk about, Dead End. Um, I really enjoy this film. This is I believe, a French. I mean, it's a very much an American movie by the feel of it, but this was directed by. Let me see. Um, Hold on a second here. Yeah, written and directed by Jean Baptista Andrea. Hopefully, I didn't butcher that person's name. And Fabrici uh, Canipa or Canipa, whatever. Anyway, those I'm pretty sure those are French names. If I'm wrong, you can let me know. But This has a lot of atmosphere. I mean, just look at that freaking cover, man. Um, I'll just read you because it's real short. It says, "It's Christmas Eve, and like every year, the Harringtons take a trip to their in laws to celebrate the holidays. Taking an unfamiliar shortcut, Mr. Harrington makes the biggest mistake of his life, leading his family down a terror filled road with no end." Now, that's quite literal. They are on their way to the in laws for Christmas, or I think it's Christmas Eve. So they're driving along and they nearly get into a head on collision. And after this mere accident that they narrowly avoid, just a bunch of weird stuff starts happening. They drive and they're on this stretch of road, and they keep passing the same house over and over. It's actually like a forest ranger station, but they keep passing this over and over and over, and they're going in the same direction. So it's like something's making them go in a loop. And no matter what, if they turn around and drive the other direction, the same thing happens. So it's like they're stuck in this repeating cycle. It's weird. I mean, weird stuff starts happening. And like I said, I'm sure you'll be able to figure it out before the movie's over. But don't pass this one up. It's um, a real spooky movie. And oh, I forgot to mention. So they're driving and driving and driving, and all the while they're being pursued, or not necessarily pursued, but it shows up from time to time. There's this spooky black hearse that's following them, and it's just a really good horror film. I don't want to say anything else because I don't want to completely ruin it for you, but if you like horror films, this is definitely one to check out. It's one that not very many people have seen, not very many people know about, and it's one of those hidden gems, if you will. So please check that out when you get a chance. It stars Ray Wise and Lynn Shay, by the way. So look that movie up. Next, I watched Malevolence. This is a horror film from, I want to say, yeah, 2004. And this is just a great horror film. I don't want to say much about it because I don't want to ruin it for anybody. But it's a slasher film. It deals with a killer. And I'll just say this: there's a group of people, they rob a bank and they take the money, and they go out into the country, into a rural area. They find an abandoned house that they're going to use as a hideout to lay low until they go back home with the money. And let's just say they go into the abandoned house, and little do they know that someone else is already there, and stuff really starts to go bad from that point on. Like I said, it's a slasher film. Um, there's a lot of people that like this movie, and there's also a lot of people that don't like it. It's one of those movies you either like it or you hate it. But I was a big fan of this, and it reminded me of the first Halloween quite a bit, um, because of some of the music. When the killer appears in the background and things like that, some of that music reminded me of Halloween. The atmosphere is very Halloween. It's got a very independent feel because it is an independent film. And second of all, the killer wears something over his face. I won't say what. And what he wears reminds me of the Friday the 13th movies. And you'll understand what I'm talking about when you see the movie. But this is another one I highly recommend. Next up is Bereavement. This is the sequel to Malevolence. This is a really good movie. Not as good as the first film, which was the one I just showed you, but it's still really good. And one of the one of the really big, even though this movie's not as good as the first, one of the big positives about it is it stars Michael Biehn. Uh, and he was in Aliens and the first Terminator. So check this out. It's actually a trilogy. I have not seen the third film yet, but I should be getting the third film in the mail today sometime. So on my next video, you'll see that the third movie will be in there because I will have watched it. But it's actually a trilogy. Next up is a French film called High Tension. Pretty good movie. I didn't see the end coming. I'm not going to ruin it for anybody. The ending kind of shocked me. I was I loved everything about the movie except for the ending. Um, Anyone who is familiar with this film, who has seen it, you know how this movie ends. I hate it when movies end that way, and you'll know what I'm talking about when you see the movie. Except for the ending, I really liked it, and yeah, the gore is a bit crazy. If you don't like extremely gory movies, you might want to avoid this one. However, if you are a gore hound and you like blood and guts in your movies, in your horror films, check this out. Now we're getting to the good stuff. Well, these next two in particular. Pet Sematary. I'm not going to say anything about it. I mean, it's a popular movie. People know. Many people have seen it. I love it. As a child, the Pascal character always freaked me out. And this movie is just dripping with moody atmosphere, spooky music, just everything about it. You know, I hate to say it, but disregarding, not counting horror franchises and the usual run of the mill horror films, this film has got to be to me. This is a perfect horror film. Everything about this horror film scared the crap out of me as a kid, and it just works. So, Pet Sematary. Next, Pet Sematary 2. A lot of people say that sequels are never that good. They can never beat the original. Well, this one didn't beat the original, but it came pretty darn close in my book. And I would argue that this sequel is not better than the first, but it's just as good as the first. Again, this movie is, the sequel, but it's extremely well done. Just like the first, it's dripping with atmosphere, spooky music. Again, this movie just works. And I'll make a special note here. The movie is directed by Mary Lambert. Mary Lambert also directed the first Pet Sematary, which is why they're so similar in tone. She's a great horror film director, and I'll argue that she has done. I'm not sure. I'm not going to look it up. I'm not sure if she's directed other film adaptations of Stephen King's books or novels, but out of all the Stephen King adaptations that are out there, the two Pet Sematary movies are the best that I've seen. They're even, to me, they're even better than The Shining. So, if you see a horror film that's directed by Mary Lambert, check it out because she's really good at what she does. And lastly, P2. This is also a Christmas horror film. Woman stuck in a parking garage, being stalked by a maniac. I'm not going to say much else. You'll have to watch it, check it out for yourself. But if you like slashers, you might want to check this one out. It's pretty good. And that'll do it for this video. That's about it. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'll be posting another video probably tomorrow or the next day, maybe a couple days from now, and I'll show you the next batch of films I watch. But thank you for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you haven't, please check out the movies that I showed in this video. I recommend them all. But of all of them, the movie Dead End is the one that probably most people don't know about. Like I keep saying, that is the hidden gem of a horror film. And I guarantee you, once you watch it, you'll like it, and you'll want to watch it every year around this time of the year, that is. So anyway, thank you for watching, and I will catch you guys on the next video. Thanks.